Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys? We made it.
We'll get this hang of this thing. So 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Got the 2-minute warning. Ooh.
2 minutes behind.
Oh my goodness. I tried, right? So I have been seriously enjoying the sunrise this week.
Yes.
And today was one of those days that it came up and it was one of those dusty sunrises.
Yes.
And,
dusty. It needs a vacuum cleaning.
Oh dear. I think it's a lot of fun when we get to watch the sun and it's got that glorious orange glow to it. But I think today's was...
I just can't stop this sunrise. Everybody's latched onto it. Everybody in my feed. It's just like sunrise, sunrise, sunrise. I want a little other something.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here. That's why I'm here. I want a little something other.
I see it as a dawning of a new day, a hope. But today was just kind of one of those... I call it a reflective sunrise. It's one of those times where, it's like, it's just kind of dusty. It's like reminiscent of the week behind. And yet it's got that glimmer of hope for a better future ahead. So I was talking to Joe last night and I was just listening to what he had to say. And he said COVID. And I'm like, hey, you know what? This is our COVID. He's like, what?
What?
It's our co-video. It's like our, I don't know, 5th one or something.
No, 10th.
What?
Yeah, 10th.
No way.
Yeah, 10th.
And that's pretty much how the conversation went with
of this Friday morning show incarnation. Yeah.
That is just something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, we've ironed out a couple of the wrinkles. We're getting a little bit better at what we do each time we try again. And it's been fun to have you on the show, Joe.
Thank you.
And
it's been fun being here too.
I
learned some things.
He's my techie guy, so
I'm just trying to get people aware. Happy day,
which is awesome. Well, we spent the first portion of our week with the John Maxwell team, meeting virtually because we couldn't meet in person this time, and that was a different experience.
Yes.
How'd you like that?
Well, I'm used to online, so most of it was really one way. I mean, it's John talking about leading through crisis. Mm-hmm. It's the other members, other faculty of the John Maxwell team who are providing information or providing perspective in various areas. So it's all good, right? But we get the interaction. We get the interaction through comments. Although sometimes it's hard when there's 835,000 comments running by to keep up with them, right? You want to tag that one. Oh, that was really good. And it's like too late. It's gone.
So I think that part of it was different. But it was interesting because even as there were the thousands of comments that literally ran past as we were watching these videos, or live feeds, I guess you'd call them. It was interesting because you could experience what others were thinking in the moment. So that was kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
But I did rather miss seeing them in person. And, there's certain traits that are just kind of...
Right.
You don't want to...
Well, you don't get the energy in the room. You just get energy digitally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So think about this going to the grocery store. How much energy is it when you're, trying to... Well, let's go back before this disease.
Here, you talk.
No, I get it. I get it.
This.
I go, right. Yeah, you can tell us we did this 10 times. Yeah. We, you go to the grocery store and you got a whole bunch of buzz, especially, let's go back to Christmas or Thanksgiving, right? There's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of people up and down the aisles trying to grab things for the meal or, presents, whatever you're doing during that time, right? Black Friday shopping, there's a lot of energy. Maybe it's not all good energy, but it's a lot of energy. and then you go into this electronic world. We all face it, and you feel that it's much less. You feel, gosh, so for some of you, it may go really slow. Some of you may go really fast. It's like, wow, I can't believe a half an hour went on by.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my hand because there is a watch here.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no wonder it's going slow. It's only 2 hairs past a freckle. Yeah, as my dad would say.
I never got to meet your dad.
Yeah.
I imagine he was interesting.
Yeah.
Just given the way you are.
Yeah.
And the things you told me.
He had his own beat, man. He's good. So we think about this, and people are saying, "Oh, I hate sitting in Zoom." You're dealing with clients that really don't appreciate the digital, and then we end up we don't go and lean in. We don't put all ourselves in. So one of the good things about this conference we were on was people were leaning in. People were excited about what was being discussed, being part of it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I took away from it was best resonated it wasn't the best thing, but what resonated this morning was Walmart is saying that sales of tops are way up compared to bottoms. People are just dressing from the waist up because they know no one sees down here. I can be in flip flops, can be in my bikini, whatever, it can be in my Speedo.
Oh my. Let's not do that. Okay?
Well, somebody did. You remember?
I did. I posted it.
Someone was in their underwear. They're on a Zoom, and their husband walks through, and they go, "Oh!" And she's trying to push him off the camera. He rams into the wall. Whoa!
I rather enjoyed that one.
Yeah. You kept laughing for like 25 minutes.
Oh, not that long.
Okay.
But I will admit I watched it maybe 5 times. It was just so perfectly laid out because when she pushed him aside, he literally went into the wall as if she pushed him.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been interesting. So the John Maxwell team, John Maxwell, man, what a guy. He is such a leader. I know there are people who have not heard of John yet, and that's okay. But he has been touted as one of the greatest leaders in the world. He is.
Well, he's focused on leadership. So he's had almost 50 years of focusing on leadership in various roles and what makes and helping countries, helping people across the world. And I think he's seen a lot of crises that he's had to deal with in helping people, helping governments individually. It was a crisis in the country.
Yeah.
It's a crisis in leadership. It's a crisis in failure, right? So, we've each, us, I'll go slower.
Thank you.
We both, yes, we're not keeping separation of 6 feet. It's just a little hard on this camera, but we're isolating ourselves otherwise. But we have, and you have gone through many crises. If you just look back shortly ago, we had Y2K and everybody.
I think we talked about that.
Well, just briefly, we've had Y2K, we've had the financial crisis, we've had many other, like we said, there were 20 crises in the last 20 years, right? So we faced it, but what lessons did we learn from it? How do we approach it? And I think, we see, and it's been described about this virus that's going around now, right? It could be a wave type thing. It could be, it's really peaks up, then, comes down and then comes back up, over time until there's enough medication out there to thwart it. Thwart it.
Okay.
But one of the things we need to do is this is an unprecedented time because it affects everybody across the world. How are we going to handle this moment? What do we want it to become?
One of the things that I really found interesting this week was in the comments, and it was about um, crisis, I believe. And they said the symbol in Chinese for crisis is actually made up of two symbols, one which means danger, and the other one which means opportunity. And when they said that, I'm like, wow, that is super cool because it really is. I mean, it's a dangerous time, or it could be, right, potentially dangerous. Um, but so often that's what we focus on. Whereas I think if we're really careful, um, and we're wise about all of this, I think what's important is to focus on the opportunity that arises out of this and the things that we do have, like you're saying, to learn
Yeah.
and to move forward as we're going through on this. And so, um, just for a reference point, as we're talking through a couple of these points that um, we mentioned this in this conference. Joe kind of, he said, Lisa, the conference is a lot to talk about, but let's just talk about these little things.
Let's just talk about surfing the wave. We
Yeah.
put that out there, and it's like, what's the surfing have to do with virus? And we can't go in the water.
We can go.
Well, yeah, but you have to get across land, and that's been shut off. So,
at least for a short while.
Yeah. So, so what's surfing got to do with it? Well, if you think about surfing, if you kind of, I don't know if you've seen surfing, you watched it on TV, you've done it. I surfed in a little lake for a little bit, about 5 seconds before I started drowning. But but the thing that impressed upon me was the preparation. Right, you didn't go right away in the water. You prepped on land. Mm-hmm. How to stand on the board. How what are the actions that you're going to do once you get in the water? From laying on the board, paddling out, getting the moment, figuring out exactly when it is that you need to get up on the board, get ready, and twist the board, direct the board into mm-hmm. the wave, right? And you see some of the more advanced stuff like curling through the wave, coming through that sure. curl, right? Through mm-hmm. that wave that's going way over your head and riding that into, out, riding the wave out, and then realizing, okay, now I got to go back.
That's the fun part. You get to do it again.
Do it again, right? And sometimes you fail, sometimes you really succeed, sometimes it's it's just okay.
Well, do you really fail, or is it just you learn?
Well, it could fail because you didn't do something, you didn't execute on what you.
My thought.
The fundamentals are.
I suppose that could be true. So we can't see any of your comments when we're on
we need
these...
people to comment. Come on. Well, there are people out there. It's got to be. It's 15 minutes.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any of that in front of me.
Well, I do. And so there's nothing there. So.
Oh, that's sad.
It really is sad.
Well, anyway.
That's all right. We'll be here anyways. Watch it on replay. Tag replay.
Hashtag replay.
Yeah.
Say good morning.
Please
let us know how you're doing. And it's okay. Usually I hear from people after the broadcast.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Actually before sometimes too. So I hear from people. It's just not always on the live feed.
That's okay.
So you're welcome to join in the conversation. Is this now set up so that I could see it?
Yeah, that's your
live
feed.
Okay. I see a few of you on there. So anyway, good morning to you. We're talking about, really, I think this morning, leadership through crisis.
Well, in
a very brief
and
manner.
People get confused about what leadership is, and so we really want to just strip that away. It's you, and as it's been remarked how we approach it. It's leadership is basically you. You are impacting people around you. Mm-hmm. If there's nobody ever around you, well, then you're not a leader. But because
leadership is simply influence. I mean, it's really not anything more than that.
Simply influence and simply an impact. You are impacting your family. You're impacting your workplace, your community, right?
I mean, in a very, very basic of all of it. And you could be standing in line or in a store or something. Somebody has to go around you. You had to influence that person in some way.
Or lift that person up at the register, right?
Yeah.
The person
So
handling the register, checking you out, and you strike up a conversation and lift their spirits.
exactly. So it's leadership, I think, is often misconstrued to be, oh, you have to have this team and you have to work in a certain environment.
You got to be the CEO.
It's not. I mean, you
Yeah.
can be a leader in your own home. A child can be a leader. They cry and we respond, right? They're leading the way to the path that we're going forward in. So when we say leadership, we're really talking about everybody and how we're living through this crisis. And so I'm curious if you've experienced a distracted leader. Or you too.
I've been distracted. I've been distracted. I've been distracted at times. You, Lisa. Oh no. Okay.
Okay, that's true.
Well, yeah.
That's
I mean,
true.
I'm waiting for an answer, and it's like, Lisa.
I think that goes all the way around for
well,
everybody
it's the
here,
same
right?
thing. Sometimes, there's something very important that we're doing that we need to get an email out, a text to a client, or whatever.
Yeah.
And we want our time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yes, we're distracted. We're distracted right now. How many of you are sitting at home, having to work from home, and tell me what it's like. Put it in the comments. Drop a comment in. What's it like now living in this world of having to work from home or having school from home?
Mm-hmm. So for me, this whole online world. I mean, we mentioned the conference, but I have this onslaught of opportunity just sitting on my feed. It's like, join this class, join this live, join this, join that, join
Yes.
this. And I'm so tempted because I could literally sit on the computer all day long just learning and just enjoying every second of it because I'm connecting with other people, but I'm building my knowledge base. But at the same time, it's distracting because I'm not staying focused. And I think one of the things that's going to come through all of this is we're going to find out in the midst of a crisis, what are your priorities? What's really important to you?
Well, yeah. So family has come back. Cereal eating has come back.
Oh dear.
Well, breakfast, together, or we're now focused on meals in the house because we don't want to venture out, or we're just venturing out to pick up and bring back, right?
Yeah, I was thinking when you said cereal eating, it was in the refrigerator again and again.
Oh, come on. Well, there's that too. But one thing I was thinking about as you're talking about the fact of distraction, there was a graphic that was floating around on Facebook about, okay, we have this Zoom, about 2% is actually on the content. All the rest is, what am I wearing? Oh, why do I look like that?
I always have this little chin.
Yeah. I don't look as trim as I thought.
Oh, I've got those glowing spots.
Yeah, I got this white spot in my head. See right there? That's not good.
We're looking at ourselves. We're looking at other people.
We're looking, hey, isn't that in it? Especially on this one-on-one Zoom, right? Oh, what's people got in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a nice thing. Wow.
So we get distracted.
And as a result, we're not leading. We're not surfing the wave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're still figuring out how to get on the board.
Right.
Because I forgot my to put the connection around my ankle, or I don't know, something's not fitting right, or I'm hot. We're starting to think about all the other activities, all the other issues that are going on, and then we lose perspective. And what we're called to do in this time of crisis, in any moment really, is to lead, is to be there in the front lines, helping people respecting people, thinking about people. They're the reason that you're there to serve. You can't serve if you don't have people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's. So what are the things, Lisa, that we can do? Uh, how do we approach changing from distraction to focus?
Mm. I think we've I like to talk about these kind of things just because uh, mindset
Well, they're
is
based
a
on experience. They're based on your interaction with people, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
But one of the things is that schedule and knowing what your priority is. Know the why behind what you want to get accomplished. Because when we know that why, all of a sudden we can have a bigger motivator behind what we're doing. We have an actual reason for living into our day. So the days that I get up and I know why I'm I'm getting up, or I know what I want to accomplish when I get up. Those are the days that it's like, ooh, get up to get to work, get busy. But if I don't, and it's just kind of one of those days, it's just kind of like, oh well, I'm gonna do this little thing and that little thing, and all of a sudden it's mm, maybe that's not so important to me. Maybe I could be talking to a friend. Maybe I could be, taking another class. Maybe I could be reading a book or watching a movie. So I get off track pretty easily. But I think, in the course of leadership,
Yes.
We have to know where we're going, what we're going after, and why.
Well, I got a thought here. So here's three questions that I think are helpful in this moment of distraction of changing into. It's how will this crisis make me better? So let's use this time. This is the time to prep. This is the time to make alterations. This is the time to try things. This is the time to figure out what works for me, what doesn't work for me. Go at the end of the day, just write down, take 2 minutes and say, I didn't be honest to yourself. Be true to yourself. I didn't do this, or I did do this. This worked really well. This is what I want to replicate tomorrow. This is what I want to have. This is what the approach I want to have in my workplace. Maybe you're seeing on these Zoom calls or conference calls back with your workplace. People are just kind of like, this is vacation.
It kind of feels like that.
I got time. We got to wait for our competition to catch up. We got to see what they're doing. We don't know. But it's really about stepping up and maybe encouraging others to, get back and get leaned in. We're great in the office together. We just need to keep that up here because it's more important now than any time previous.
One of the conversations on the speaker circuit that I just really appreciate, people, they're taking a couple different approaches to this, and they're taking a look at it. And speakers, of course, are affected in a huge way because conferences are canceled everywhere, events are canceled everywhere. So their opportunity, all of a sudden, with all these cancellations, their calendar went from book solid to my next appointment is in October, that kind of thing. And so even before,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Even before all of this hit really big, like it has here now, there are people that were stepping up and realizing that this is coming. They're stepping up and they're saying, hey, what can I do for you? What can I do for your company? Or, company, it could be, in that sense, they're talking literal companies. In our sense, here, maybe you don't have a company, but it could just be the companies, the people that surround you, your local communities, wherever you're involved. What can I do to step up? What can I do to make a difference at a time that is really vital to make a difference?
So how will I use this crisis to help others is the question. So you reflect on that. How can I use this time to help others?
I didn't realize that was your next question.
That's the next question. And the third question is, what action will it take to improve my situation? So maybe you're finding yourself, it's not ideal. This is not what you were anticipating it to be. And, so drop in your comment. tell me what you think about this. What are you doing for your time? Tell us what you're doing. How are you prepping? So this is a time to double down, to invest. So in a stock market, in a crash, if you're heavily involved, I was at one point heavily involved in managing my portfolio
Well, not
of
only yours,
stocks.
but the bank, right?
Well, the banks too, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
helping them to mitigate risk, or get it into a risk zone that was acceptable as far as returns, about how much is at risk versus how much potential return.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but personally, this is about doubling down, about saying, okay, things have slowed down, things are different. What can I do to invest?
Yeah.
What can I do to invest in this moment? I'll keep jumping off the top of the screen there.
I see Mark Guy is in here.
Yeah,
Hey,
Mark.
Mark.
Hey, everyone that is silent out there, drop a note. We'll say hi. We're happy to do that because we love you. We want you to soar in this moment. We are all connected in this environment, even more so. That's one of the things that have come out. We need to take care of each other. There's the big feed the local, right? Take care of the local businesses, and that's good. But
Mm-hmm.
but it shouldn't be always just in crisis that we respond. It should be throughout the year. We should, as leaders, as people, should be focused on people other than ourselves. We should be helping others around us. And one of the things that are most successful, well, like Ford and uh, Rockefeller and Jobs, and Steve Jobs, and others around the world, Bill Gates. Why are they successful? Because they've invested in people.
An investment takes risk.
Yeah.
And I think anything that we do to learn and to grow requires that we're bold, we're courageous, and we make a decision to take an action, because risk involves action.
And what happens
So,
as a result of taking risk and action? You may actually have somebody react and say, "Wow, you surfed that really well."
yeah, yeah. I think so. We've
Very good example, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
many times when I'm coaching, the big question I hear is, "But what if this happens?" And it's like, "But what if it doesn't?" The chances of that not happening are so much greater than it actually happening. So it's it's good to take that risk, to get out there and to take an action. So the three questions again.
Well,
I'll
Mark Guy says taking time to reflect and also draw up deeply personal life scenarios. So cool.
And that's
That's
a
good.
cool thing, because when you draw on those scenarios, we can think of life. I think there were in three ways, right? As a historian, or as a reporter, or as a futurist.
Yes.
And
I like futurists. It's part of one of my strengths. Is in the strengths test, right?
mm-hmm.
Strengths finders is futurists, is keeping an eye on what's to come. In essence, not as a reaction, not as, well, let's wait and see, but to create, to go into, holding an image of what we want to be, what I want to become,
Mm-hmm.
and then moving towards it. And that extends then, what do we as a team or as a family want to become? How do we want to, maybe this is more important to families, this is a time that we can set aside a block of time every week that we have a game together. We saw a couple people, we're now doing a game a night, a topic a night. We're talking
over Zoom. Actually, this
Yeah.
family was doing it, so that was kind of interesting.
Or making a decision on, everyone gets a chance once a day. Somebody gets a chance to rule the day, to say, this is what we should have for dinner.
So I think it's interesting to take a look at those different perspectives.
So the questions you ask: how will this crisis make me better?
Okay.
How will I use the crisis to help others? And then finally, what action will I take to improve my situation? And as I think, through all these things, I'm trying to find the one quote that I had, because it was like just fantastic. Oh, that's not the one that was. Uh, Here, only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can.
Ooh, I like
Michael
that.
Singer.
Let's say that again.
Okay, so only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can. Michael Singer.
That's a good one. I think we'll post that on the page later.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Well, we have total control. We have dominion over what we feel, where we're going, what habits we have. You know, it's been said that the habits we have determine what we do.
And the belief system that's involved with that,
Well,
right?
yeah, and habits
Because
and
our
beliefs
habits
go
are
together. Yeah,
our habits are built on our belief systems.
right.
So whatever we're doing is actually based on some deep-seated beliefs, and that's why coaching is so effective, because we get to the root of the belief system.
Or, you know, it can be mentoring too. It can be just sitting there with somebody that's ahead of you. And I think in this environment, it's incumbent upon us find somebody who's gone through this crisis, and listen to them. You know, take their lessons, and maybe it's about something on how you do things at work. Maybe it's a person at work that's been through multiple waves, right? Or at least it's a little further ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this as if it's never happened before. Well, this exact scenario hasn't happened, but there are other things that parallel it, and
Right.
they do happen. So
Yeah.
some good questions, and I think it's probably enough food for thought for the day that we could wrap this up.
Did you want to talk about what you were thinking, Lisa? You know, we're designing something or thinking into.
We've got some great material, you guys.
No, we got good value. We got insights that I think will help, right?
We do.
It's not just the material. I don't care about the material. It's like a wrapper around burger.
That's true. Okay, there's some great packaging out there that make you want to buy a product, right? But then I wish I could think of a good product example that doesn't have good packaging, but the product is simply amazing.
Oh, you can buy a pair of great shoes in a brown paper bag. You know, because there is no bag. The bag came from the store to make sure that, you know, you had something to carry it home in, right?
Yeah.
But it's about the shoes, right? It's about the experience.
It is. So as we're moving forward, we want to create some experiences for you, looking at creating a Facebook group and looking at having some extra training, like some really focused, in-depth training with a lot of value that will help you to move forward as we go through this crisis.
Yeah, but it's more than training. It's a thought leadership. It's about prepping. It's about adapting in this time of crisis. So, you know, what do we do? How do we approach things? You know, how do we get past? Well, what's a crisis? First of all, what does this look like? You know,
it's getting really to the mindsets of it too, right?
Right, but it's that, but it's also, you know, what's the burdens? What's the things along the barriers that we have? What are the things we have to overcome? And what does the end result look like? You know, so it's aiming for that end result. It's for looking at what are the things that are important to accomplish in this time. And we're called to so much more. This, you know, one of the things we talk about, intentional living, we've shared with you. Intentional living is I want to do something at a time that makes a difference. It's the short
people
version.
That make a difference
in a place that makes a difference, right? I want to do something. Well, this is about opportunity. It's about adapting to this crisis. Say, okay, help me identify what's that thing I want to do, and then identify who else is doing it, who else is ahead of me, that I can join them and be their fan or be part and parcel of this. You know, what's the great, you know, rallies that have happened, right? People have gotten in there, they're participating because they feel passionate about it. They're moved to accomplish the goals of the wave, right? So we're going to create this summit And so raise your hand if you want to be in. We're putting it together, but there'll be more formal. We'll tell you how. I think it'll be free up front as part of a bigger program. Just to be transparent with you, because you can't just have a conversation in an hour, right? This involves communities, it involves time together. So I think,
and it'll be not just Facebook Live, right?
Well, no, I mean there's tools, there's resources that I think we as a community will share, but others in the community will have some too to help you think through this moment, and how to prep, how to get ready, how to be in that wave, ready for when that wave is coming up upon you, to take advantage of it and ride it through, and ride it through with glory, with majesty, with excellence, and change the world and change the direction of what we're thinking, because right now we're all thinking about here right now, but we're forgetting that we will get through this. And I'm not trying to belittle the people that are dying, the people that are sick, the people that are hospitalized, that are facing this or having loved ones. But we're going to get through this, and there is another side. To live beyond the yes. Yes, there is a crisis. We have to live beyond that. We have to recognize that there is a tomorrow that we have to continue to help the world move towards.
I'm kind of just listening to the passion that you have, that you're sharing, and just kind of observing the way you get when you're just so passionate about something that you want to help in such a way that is just, it's an amazing thing. And
we all feel this, as I'm putting it out on camera for you, but you're sitting there, you're thinking, yeah, I can do something. I know you can, because we're all called to do something.
Maybe they're thinking they don't know what to do.
Right. So let's get together. We don't all individually have the answers, but together we can come up with a good answer.
And that's the beautiful thing about a mastermind. Together we can accomplish more.
Yeah. So raise your hand, put a hands sign up or something, or, a good one, no face palms or anything, but, put your hand up if you, just want to get more information about it. So it's adapting in this time of crisis, about coming together to lead through for advantage in this adversity.
Exactly.
And Mark has another comment. That says, what if is a great question to ask. Yeah. But so I challenge you, Mark. We can think about what if, and I challenge everyone. I challenge us. We can talk about what if, right? But we need to also say,
even
now, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Right. So let's think about what can we do. Let's get into this program, this thought of working each day, of asking, how's this crisis going to change me? What do I need to do? How do I need to help others? Who do I need to bring in that is ahead of me, that will help me define this? It could be us, it could be someone else. It doesn't matter. Just get up, step up, lean in.
That's right.
Right?
Absolutely. I think I don't have much more to say after that. Maybe that's a good thing, huh?
I'll hear it off camera. Yep. Drop in your comments, replay, share this with somebody. There's somebody out there that is sitting there, just totally consumed by what's going on TV or online, whatever, of scared, of fear.
Yeah.
And we need to help them. So help them, lift them, move them, help them take one step forward.
We do. It's time to wrap this up.
Yeah, we are. We're wrapping it up. I'm wrapping it up.
It's time to say goodbye. Next week, we will see you from our new office. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Hopefully.
There's no hopefully.
Well, design won't, bear with us.
We will not be in this space next week. So I'm excited about that. Looking forward to the week ahead. and finding out what opportunities are out there for us in that. So I will look forward to connecting with you throughout the week. I will be back again Monday morning, around this time.
Around this time.
I was telling somebody, I said, I don't quite have that morning routine down yet. I get caught up in things. The sun rises and it kind of captures my thoughts, and then they wander a little bit, and then the next thing I know, 7:45 turns to 8 o'clock.
Or is that like
know.
Garfield? It's Monday, and I just roll back over.
That would be then every day for me, except for Friday. So I guess the bottom line in that is I'm still learning, just like you guys are still learning. I'm still getting a grasp on my schedule, but I will be here next week, generally between 7:45 and 8 o'clock in the morning. So I will look forward to seeing you again then, and looking forward to this weekend, what plays out this weekend, and how we can continue to learn and grow and add value to the people around us.
Yeah, thank you for watching this, sharing your thoughts, just thinking into this, and maybe you're taking an action. You're shy to put a comment out, but or maybe we're not giving you the value you want. Just let us know. We're happy to help you, because we want to help you. We're here to help you. We're here to make a difference in your lives, or helping you frame up that mindset that you need for success in your life.
That's right. So color your future bright, live the adventure you dream, and I'll see you again Monday morning. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, take care and have a great weekend.